The tornado in the house. Raji and Mikey sat in front of their computer, eyes wide as they stared at the Barney error on the screen. Mikey clicked furiously, shutting the computer down over and over. But each time they restarted it, Barney returned. "I'm getting creeped out," Mikey muttered. Raji snorted. "It's just a dumb error message, Mikey." Then the screen glitched violently. A deep voice rumbled through the speakers. "You did not listen to me. Now, there will be consequences." Mikey screamed. "Nope. Nope. Turn it off." Raji shut the computer down again. Silence. Then the walls shook. Both brothers froze. Mikey gulped. That wasn't the computer. A loud howling noise filled the house. The windows rattled violently. Then the ceiling cracked. Raji gasped. "Okay. That's new." Mikey ran to the window. Raji. We have a problem." Raji joined him, his jaw dropped. A swirling tornado was forming inside the living room. "We need to leave," Mikey whispered. Raji shook his head. "We need to record this for science." Mikey screamed. "No, we need to survive." The tornado grew stronger, pulling furniture into its vortex. The couch lifted. The bookshelves collapsed. Raji and Mikey ducked, clinging to the floor as objects swirled around them. Raji's hair stood up from the wind force. "This is kind of awesome." Mikey glared at him. "We're gonna die, you psycho." Then the tornado spoke. "You should not have turned off the computer." Mikey shrieked. "Why does it talk?" Raji grabbed a chair and threw it into the vortex. "Take that." The tornado absorbed the chair. Then it launched it back at them. Mikey dodged. "Bad idea, Raji." Raji groaned. "Okay, maybe." The tornado grew stronger. Mikey grabbed Raji's arm. "We need an exit plan." Raji stared at the computer. Its screen was still flickering. "That thing caused this, right?" Raji muttered. Mikey nodded rapidly. "Yes. Clearly." Raji took a deep breath. "Then maybe if we listen to Barney, the tornado stops." Silence. Mikey narrowed his eyes. "Raji, you're suggesting we obey a demonic Barney AI?" Raji nodded. "Do you have a better idea?" Mikey shuddered. "Fine." Raji sat back down, reopened the computer. The tornado paused as if it was watching them. The Barney error flashed again. "I told you. Now you must follow my rules." Raji gulped. "Fine. Rules. Whatever." Mikey crossed his arms. "This is humiliating." The screen showed a countdown. "Type, I will never shut down the computer again." Raji sighed. "Seriously?" Mikey panicked. "Just type it before we get sucked into another dimension." Raji typed the sentence. Then the tornado stopped. The wind vanished instantly. The furniture fell back into place. Silence. Raji and Mikey looked around. "Did we just get blackmailed by Barney?" Raji whispered. Mikey collapsed onto the floor. I am never using a computer again. The Barney error disappeared. The screen returned to normal. Mikey groaned. I don't trust it. Raji smirked. At least we survived. Mikey glared. Barely. Then the computer blipped again. A new message appeared. You have followed the rules. But remember, I will always be watching. Mikey screamed and ran out of the house. Raji sighed. Guess I need a new laptop. Raji and Mikey stared in horror as the swirling vortex burst through the wall, tearing apart furniture like a giant invisible hand. The couch was ripped in half. Plates from the kitchen shattered against the ceiling. The bookshelves collapsed, sending novels spinning through the air. Mikey grabbed Raji's sleeve. This is not normal. I know. Raji shrieked. Both brothers dove into the closet, slamming the door shut. The tornado howled outside, rattling the walls as the house shook violently. Mikey curled up in a ball. I think I'm gonna pass out. Raji clenched his fists, trying to steady his breath. Then a voice rang out, cutting through the chaos. Raji! Come downstairs! Now! Both brothers froze. Mikey's eyes widened. Wait, Dad's home? Raji gulped. Why is he calling me during a tornado? The tornado roared louder, whipping debris through the hallway. Then Dad's voice again, completely unaffected by the destruction. Raji! Come downstairs! Now! Mikey shuddered. Dude! I think this is worse than the tornado. Raji groaned. We're doomed. And with that, the closet door flew open, sucked into the vortex. They were out of hiding. And Dad was still yelling. Raji grabbed the vacuum, eyes burning with determination. Mikey screamed, That's not how science works. But Raji was already charging toward the swirling vortex, vacuum hose in hand. This is how science works now, he shouted. With a dramatic flip of the switch, the vacuum roared to life. The tornado paused as if confused. Then the impossible happened. The vacuum sucked the storm into its hose, spiraling the powerful winds into its tiny plastic container. Mikey gasped. Dude, it's working. The tornado shrieked, fighting back, pulling against the suction force. Furniture rattled violently. Papers flew everywhere. But Raji held strong. The tornado's swirling grew smaller. Smaller. Until. Poof. It was gone. And the vacuum? It shook violently, its plastic tummy rumbling like an angry beast. Mikey stared in horror. That does not look stable. Raji smiled proudly. I have contained the storm. The vacuum shuddered harder, glowing blue. Mikey stepped back. I think it's gonna explode. Raji shrugged. Matt, what's the worst that could happen? Then the vacuum unleashed a massive burst of wind, sending Raji and Mikey flying across the room. The entire house shook. The front door flew open, revealing Dad, standing there, completely unfazed. Dad narrowed his eyes. Raji! Come downstairs. Now! Mikey collapsed onto the floor, defeated. Raji sighed. I can never win. Raji stood in the wrecked living room, panting, his hair still wild from tornado winds. The vacuum hummed ominously in the corner, probably still processing the storm it just absorbed. And yet, despite all this chaos, the only thing Dad cared about? Summoning Raji downstairs. Raji! Come downstairs! Now! Dad bellowed. Raji threw his arms up. Dad! We just fought a literal tornado in the house. Can this wait? Dad crossed his arms. No. Mikey, still sprawled on the floor, whispered, he's unstoppable. Raji groaned, walking toward the stairwell. Dad! Why do you summon me like this? Why do you yell like it's the apocalypse every time? Dad shrugged. I don't know. It just feels natural. Mikey sat up. You call him 50 times a day. Raji pointed accusingly. And half the time you don't even need me. Dad rubbed his chin thoughtfully. It's about authority. Raji scoffed. Authority? You summon me for ridiculous reasons. Mikey nodded. You once yelled for him just to ask if he liked blue or red socks. Dad nodded proudly. And that's important knowledge. Raji collapsed onto the stairs. Dad! Please. Just say what you need normally. Dad shook his head. That's not my brand. Raji covered his face. You have a brand now? Dad smirked. Absolutely. Mikey whispered, you'll never win this argument, bro. Raji sighed. Defeated. Mikey leaned against the stair railing. Sue, what do you actually need from Raji? Dad scratched his chin. Oh, right. I forgot. Raji screamed into a pillow.